Most of you probably already know, but a few months ago, Konami announced a brand new Yu-Gi-Oh! Video game release. Now, this is already quite a big deal because we didn't really get anything since Master Duel, but this early days collection has me especially hyped, and I believe it could have a major impact on future Yu-Gi-Oh! Video game releases. Allow me to explain. Hi guys, Dino here. For those of you who don't know what this collection is about, here's a quick overview. In the 90s, there were quite a few Yu-Gi-Oh! Games never released outside of Japan. If you're familiar with Forbidden Memories, you can imagine what most of these play like. They predate the rules of the actual Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, so there are many different iterations of this, let's call it, prehistoric version. Some of them are very close to Forbidden Memories, while others have even more mechanics that can completely change the flow of duels, and acquiring good cards can also vastly differ between these titles. Anyhow, since most of these never received an international release, they were also never translated. You can find fan translations on a select few of them, but for the others, good luck trying to make sense of them. I actually did try, because some time ago I had the idea of playing through the entire Yu-Gi-Oh! Video game catalog from start to finish and sort of document my experience with it in a few videos. However, I quickly came to realize that I'd have to skip so many titles because I just can't read the language. And it's a shame, since even though all these early games seem so similar, the differences between them really made me curious to check each of them out. Now, Konami is making it possible. The Early Days collection features 8 games from the Duel Monsters series. The reason why they all play somewhat similar to Forbidden Memories is because that game is actually also part of this series. In Japan, it's actually known as Yu-Gi-Oh! True Duel Monsters Sealed Memories. And while we're at it, Duelist of the Roses is also called Yu-Gi-Oh! True Duel Monsters 2 Inherited Memories in Japan. Why is this relevant? Well, while the collection will feature these 8 titles, more are yet to be announced. It's quite likely that their namesakes would be fitting choices, isn't it? Let's hope. Now, of course you could just emulate some of these titles, especially the latter two, but this collection is not just a cheap emulator cash grab kind of deal. They are actually adding new features to this. As far as we currently know, they will have new save and load features, button layout customization, rewind and fast forward features, quick reset duels to skip long loading times. Some games will even receive completely new online battle modes after the release. And probably best of all, we'll be able to unlock all the hidden characters and cards in these games that were previously locked behind insanely grindy gameplay or extremely obscure physical accessories that, you guessed it, were exclusive for Japan. Just imagine if they also throw in Forbidden Memories and make the card that is actually on the freaking cover unlockable. jon-oh would get a heart attack. While this is all nice and dandy, you might wonder, how is this in any way important to the franchise? Well, the list of Yu-Gi-Oh! Games is long. Like, really long. And there are quite a few titles, even more recent ones, that never made it abroad. The last few Tagforce games come to mind, which is a huge shame since I really adore the earlier Tagforce games. This collection proves that Konami are willing to put in the work to not only bring us old titles we had never received in the first place, but also go the extra mile and add content that would vastly improve the gameplay experience. If this product does well, they might follow it up by giving other titles a similar treatment. The fact that they are developing online play for some of these titles is also completely insane. That's surely way more work than just emulating and translating them. And I'd love to see an online mode for, say, Duelist of the Roses or Capsule Monster Colosseum 2. Just imagine how cool that could be. These games have so much potential and could truly bloom if given the proper treatment. Since the Early Days collection is also releasing on Steam, we might also get some mod support at some point. In my other videos, I talked at length about how dedicated the Yu-Gi-Oh! Modding communities are to improve their favorite games, no matter how tedious or difficult. This could also become much easier and thus result in much more fan content for all of us to enjoy. I know that many of these points are pure speculation, but to be quite honest with you, I would have never expected that Konami would pull something like this in the first place. So let's just hope it sells well and sends a message to Konami that there is still a huge interest in these games. Anyway, that's all from me today. Dear people, thank you so much for watching. What do you think about the Early Days collection? Also, which other Yu-Gi-Oh! Games would you like to see remade with some extra content? Make sure to tell me in the comments. Also remember to like the video, it helps me out a ton. Make sure to subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh! Content in the very near future, and also ring the bell so you don't miss any of it. Thanks again for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.